Nebraska, a winner. 42-17 the final. As the Cornhuskers close out the 9th undefeated and untied season in the history of Nebraska football.
The 1-2 again. Inside corner. The Royals, 2015 World Champions.
Strike 3 call. It's over. They've done it. The Royals are
Welcome to M&M Sports Podcast number 47. Tonight, we're going to have a little baseball, of course, NFL. We'll give our NFC predictions. And Brian's got a little college football and volleyball as well.
As usual, Eric, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to take much time here to explain what I'm going to get into later. I'm just going to let you jump right in here and let's get started.
Okay, I had somebody shoot me a text, and they said, how about a little love for former Husker Bryce Matthews?
Okay.
He got called up by the Astros a few weeks ago. Top prospect in the Astros organization, which is a hell of an organization. All they've done is make the playoffs year after year. Yeah. World Series win in 17 and also 2022. Anyway, I'm going to take you back real quick. He played three seasons at Nebraska. Bryce Matthews in his junior season, all he did was hit .359 with 20 home runs and 67 RBIs, bro.
Those are great numbers. Coach Will Bolt would have loved to have him on that team this year, I'm sure.
Right. Born in Houston, the Astros took the hometown kid, first round, 28th overall pick. Like I said, he came up, a few weeks ago in 40 plate appearances, hit 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, but he just got sent down recently, and it wasn't a demotion per se. It was because Jeremy Pena came back from the IL, and they traded for this guy named Carlos Correa, pretty good ball player. Reacquired Correa, obviously, is with the Astros. The Minnesota Twins had a fire sale of sorts, and he was one of the Twins that got dealt, and he got dealt back to Houston, Brian.
I'm sure Astros fans loved getting Correa back. He was key in that 17 World Series. The kid, he's a great ball player. I can't take anything away from him.
Right.
This isn't the last you're going to hear of Bryce Matthews.
Exactly.
Guarantee that.
That's where I was going.
Yep.
23 years old and a future star. Like I said, he is the number one prospect right now in the Astros organization. And
that says a lot.
He did good, pretty damn good in a short period of time when he had an opportunity. So, yes, he will be back at some point.
He'll get a shot.
So everybody keep an eye on that name, Bryce Matthews. Okay, transitioning to the Royals. Once again, there's a lot here to break down. Let's start with last night's game.
Okay.
Royals were down and out, down 8-1. To their credit, they fought back. Okay. Got a couple of home runs from, I believe, Vinny and Garcia.
Yep.
And then got a couple more on the board, and then we have a bit of a problem. A stop sign. Third base coach. Generally, when I get that image in my head, I have an image of a coach raising his hands up above his head.
Emphatically.
Yes. After the game, Matt Quintrero said that Nick Lofton ran through the stop sign of the third base coach.
I didn't see it.
If there was a stop sign, it had to be a verbal one.
Yeah,
verbal stop sign.
And you know as well as I do, when you're on that field, you're not listening. You're looking for that sign. Mm-hmm. You're looking for that, as you said, the visual concept. And I've watched the replay of it multiple times today. I saw nothing that led me to believe that he should not have tried to go home.
I believe Q was covering for his third base coach. Yeah, and that's what managers do.
Sure.
But if you're watching, you're kind of insulting Royals fans' intelligence at the same time.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, just in this scenario, just own it.
Right.
There was a mistake. He was not given the stop sign. It was a bad decision. It happens.
Right. But yes, if you're watching the game, you're saying, I didn't see a stop sign. Basically, it was sticking up for his coach and putting the blame on the player.
Yeah.
Things happen, but that killed their rally.
Sure.
They hold him at third. They have the bases loaded with Vinny Pasquantino coming to the plate, down 3 runs. The inning goes on, and, we'll never know what might have happened.
Yeah, who knows?
What I would call that is a very low percentage play.
Yeah.
There was way too much to lose and not enough to gain by getting that one more run across, and all that does is cut it to 8-6.
Yeah, the risk did not outweigh the reward for sure.
Unless you know they're going to be safe by a mile,
Yeah.
you hold that guy.
You just hold him.
Yep. And the coach has to be more emphatic, in my opinion.
You play the percentages. Those arms go up. Mm-hmm. We've seen guys jump up and down. We've seen them jump to the ground.
Right.
I mean, we've seen everything.
Yep.
And I saw nothing.
You literally have to sell out as a coach to get your point across and let them know what you want them to do. Nick Lofton was caught in no man's land.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all.
Right.
No.
That's the way I interpret that play.
I don't blame him at all.
Like I said, credit to the Royals for fighting back and making that a game. They just they took an opportunity away from themselves with a little percentage move right there.
Base running blunders. We've talked about it all season, Eric.
Right.
You've brought it up week after week, and we haven't seen it change. We have not seen an improvement on the base paths this year as the season's gone on.
I think most everybody would agree with that. I mean, a person could be the biggest Royals backer, the biggest fan in the world, and if you can't acknowledge that, then you're in denial.
Yeah, you're fooling yourself.
They've done a lot of good things. That's one of the worst aspects of the team this year has been their base running gaffes.
It's cost them a few games, or at least some opportunities.
It really has.
Yeah.
Okay, with that loss last night, they still stand at 9-7 since the break. I mean, they took 2 of 3 at Toronto. Toronto at the time had the best record in baseball. Still have 2 left, versus Boston here coming up. They're right in the mix. Like I said, 1 game under 500 now, 56-57, 9-7 since the break. They have 2 more at Boston and then 3 at Minnesota before they come home.
Yeah, we got to find a way to get some wins here. We got to keep our heads above water, so to speak. We are right in the hunt right now.
Right.
They're not in a bad position given the injuries, given a couple of long losing streaks this year. They are still well within striking distance. They need to really focus here these next few games. Come out on the plus side. Keep slowly chipping away. We're not gonna get to that spot all at once. It's gonna take some time. You need some. Not only do you need to win, but you need some losses. You need the teams in front of you to lose.
But you can only control what you can control. So, and one of the teams in front of you is Boston.
Exactly.
So you can control that.
There you go. That's a perfect example.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get a couple wins and let's narrow that gap.
Right. Let's talk about these trades real quick.
Yep.
Freddie Fermin, let's start with him. Okay. I mean, he's the one really proven commodity that the Royals gave up.
Yep.
And he is and has been, honestly, one of my favorite Royals over the past few years, and that's because I view that guy as an overachiever.
Okay.
I think he's earned everything he's got through hard work and just great effort in general. As a backup catcher, that's tough when you're not playing every day, but he's managed to do his part and then some. As far as his batting average has been very respectable, and his work behind the plate, I mean, man, borderline Gold Glove catcher back there here the last couple of years.
Yeah, when you're not, especially when you're not playing every day, it's hard to maintain a solid batting average, right?
Yeah.
You're not seeing live pitches day in, day out. You're not getting 4 or 5 at bats. It's hard. So for him to maintain a relatively successful batting average, I mean, it speaks volumes. Yeah, you're right. Behind the plate, the kid was great. But we have some depth there, right? I mean, we have some guys that are going to fill that role.
That's where I was going. The Royals dealt from a position of power, depth. Their organization is loaded with catching prospects.
Yep.
I know sometimes prospects don't always live up to the hype.
No.
But they happen to have 3 in their top 10. So if you throw numbers at it, chances are you're going to hit on at least one of them.
One of them's got to hit, right? Exactly.
Anyway, yes, Freddie Fermin was 30 years old getting back to that. And even though he was one of my favorite Royals, I really loved the move. I thought it was a high percentage trade with the Padres. Padres were wheeling and dealing, by the way. They weren't afraid to pull the trigger on numerous trades that they made. Anyway, Royals dealt 30-year-old Freddie Fermin to the Padres for Ryan Bergert and Stephen Kolek. Two pitchers that they have control of for years to come, which is always important, definitely when you're talking about small markets in baseball.
Yeah, control for a team like the Royals is huge.
Yep. Stephen Kolek, 28 years old. The Royals will have control of him through the year 2029. And Ryan Bergert was the number 7 prospect in the Padres organization. 25-year-old kid that the Royals will have control of through 2031.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Of all the guys they traded for, Bergert, they say, the kid with the most upside, which obviously number 7 prospect in a really good organization would tell you just that.
We kind of talked about this last week after some of these trades, Eric. You explained some of these guys to me, and it made a lot more sense. Sometimes I look too much at the big picture. I look for a splash.
Right.
I need to realize Kansas City's probably not going to make big splashes very often. It's not going to happen. Small market teams cannot afford to go out and get a huge, impactful player.
Right.
They just can't afford it. So when they get a guy like this that is controllable for the next 5-6 years, and they see the potential there, they have time to work with him and turn him into a heck of a ball player.
That's exactly right. In the way, their pitching's been here recently, they've done just that with a lot of guys. Credit to, yes, all the coaches on the pitching side for KC, minor leagues and in the majors.
Absolutely.
All of them. Okay, moving on to the deal with Pittsburgh. Another trade to bring in a guy they've got control of, who I know he got battered around pretty good last night by Boston. That was a really bad matchup for a left-handed pitcher in that ballpark versus a bunch of righties. So I would tell people, don't panic. Yeah. Chill out and let's see what he does throughout the course of the season. Bailey Falter, 28-year-old left-handed pitcher, came into the game with a 3.73 ERA. Pretty respectable. Yeah. And they have control of him through the year 2028. So another guy they have control of beyond this season. What did they give up for him? Evan Sisk, who would be a fringe major league player is what I would call him. Yeah. And Colin Moss, who's just a guy, minor league player. Once again, I thought a pretty good deal based on the control you're getting for a dude that's got a 3.73 ERA for a bad Pirates team and a 7-5 record this year.
Essentially the way I'm looking at this, we gave up very little for the potential of a pretty high return.
The one proven player they gave up in all these deals was Freddie Fermin.
Yeah.
To bring in 3 pitchers they have control of, which I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to get that point across. The bats that they brought in, now those are all rentals. Every one of those veterans. Yeah. Starting with Frazier, they traded Cam Devaney earlier this year for him, a couple weeks ago. And then Randall Grichuk was traded for another fringe major league player in Andrew Hoffman. And then Mike Yastrzemski was traded for the number 20 prospect, right-handed pitcher, Junior Marte. So the only prospect the Royals gave up per se was Marte. Anyway, nice. three rentals as far as bats go, but they've already, in a short time, haven't done too damn bad.
Yeah, they've made an impact, and I think we'll continue to see it. They're not going to come out and smoke the ball. These guys are all middle of the field players, but compared to what we have had, especially in our outfield, these guys are all potential upgrades.
Absolutely, they are. Just a quick glance at next year. When they brought these pitchers in, I just wanted to lay this out real quick. Next year, here's what you could be looking at. I'm just going to run through them. Lugo, Waka, Reagans, Bubic, Noah Cameron, Falter, Bergert, Kolek, possibly Alec Marsh, and Kyle Wright. There is 10 guys right there. So already they've created some pitching depth and then some. And the only free agent out of those 10 is Bubic at the end of next season.
Yeah,
so what that will allow them to do is focus on what we know they need, which is a proven outfielder or outfielders this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, you just, the first 5 guys you named, there's your starting rotation. Then you went on and named 5 potential people that could challenge for that. I mean, that's a great problem to have.
Exactly, which is why, when I give a grade, when all was said and done, including the Seth Lugo deal, the 2 for 46,
Sure.
I gave them a strong B+, Brian, is what I ended up. I mean, I thought they quietly just kicked some ass with these moves that they made.
They did, without a doubt. We knew going into this that if they were going to make moves, as much as we want a bat right now because our offense has struggled some, we needed pitching more because we've been depleted on the pitchers.
The injuries have forced their hand.
Yeah. So these moves are great, and maybe they get these guys some innings this year, and then they could turn around and flip somebody next year.
Exactly. It gives them options. It gives them some flexibility.
Absolutely, it does. So next year, when we're needing a bat somewhere in the middle of the lineup, maybe they can put a couple of these guys together and flip them, and who knows?
Exactly. And trade from a position of strength now with the pitching staff.
Exactly.
Like they have right now with all these catching prospects. Yep. Same type of deal.
Sky's the limit right now for that.
Yep. But
sure.
Let's hope these guys help here in the short term.
Yep.
But yes, in the long term, there's going to be opportunity beyond this season for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And we've talked for years, Eric, being Royals fans. The main thing we want is to be still interested as we enter the month of August, right?
Yeah, they're keeping us interested into football season.
Yeah, so here we are. We're 3.5 weeks away from football season, and we're still talking baseball.
Right.
That's a good problem to have.
As long-time Royals fans, you appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because there was many years, obviously, when that didn't happen.
Yeah. The month of June, you were already done.
Yes.
So here we are. We're still in the hunt. Let's keep moving forward.
Yep. Let's get one at Boston tonight.
Okay, Eric. Let's talk some college football, some Husker football here. Week 2 of the fall camp is underway in Lincoln. I feel like maybe I jinxed us a little bit last week. I talked about the depth of our tight end room, and immediately one of our prospects, Mac Markway, went down with a ACL injury.
Went down again. He was hurt last year, correct?
He was out. Same knee, same issue.
Not good.
No, I know the coaching staff they felt terrible about this. They said, what little bit they've been able to coach him. He's a great kid, got a lot of upside, but we saw this with Thomas Fedoni.
Yeah.
Fedoni had just an unlimited ceiling, but that injury bug sneaks up on some of these guys, and sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it.
Sure.
I did hear today they talked a little bit about our defense. The secondary they're talking is probably the most loaded position in Nebraska right now. They've got 25 defensive backs on the roster right now.
Wow.
Eric.
That's a lot of internal competition at one position.
Right? I mean, that's unreal. The transfer kid that transferred, I can't think of his name right now, from Idaho. They say he's making all the right plays right now. I expect there's a lot of transfers this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're gonna come out. They're gonna make their names this year. The coaching staff did a great job of getting these kids on campus. I think getting to a bowl game last year, getting over that hump, getting a winning season has made a world of difference as far as enticing kids to come to Lincoln.
I like it.
The USA Today coaches poll was released this week, Eric. They had the Nebraska preseason number 39. Thoughts?
It doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're in the top 5.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. It doesn't matter that much if you're somewhere in that, 20 to 40 range.
Exactly.
We'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. I there's probably very little difference between that, right?
Yes.
20 to 40. So.
Yep. You earn your spot when it's all said and done.
I do want to touch on real quick, Eric. There's a guy you may have heard of, Phil Steele.
I have heard of that dude. He's been around a few years.
He kind of knows what he's talking about a lot of times. He's on record as saying Nebraska will get 10 wins this year.
Okay.
And will make the college football playoff.
Okay. Now that does carry some weight. It does. I mean, because it's coming from a guy that's covered college football for so long.
Right.
It guarantees nothing.
No.
But yes, I value his opinion more than others will say.
Sure. I mean, he's been around. He knows.
He's earned his stripes.
Yep. He cites Dylan Raiola being back at quarterback after having a successful freshman year. He cites the upgraded offensive line, the upgraded receivers, and he really thinks that Emmett Johnson is going to emerge at running back to be a solid producer, let's say.
Okay. How about the schedule? Did he reference that?
He
at all?
did, yes.
Okay.
Nebraska's schedule is conducive to. I think he had them as an underdog in only really one game this year.
Okay.
Is how he was looking at it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The defensive line, I've kind of heard some rumblings. They have a chip on their shoulder. They have a lot to prove. I mean, if you look at positions across the board, I think we are better at every position group this year on paper than we were last year.
Well, that's saying something.
You know,
it still has to translate when it comes time to actually prove that.
Yeah,
yes.
Which
is why you said on paper.
Yep,
of course.
wins are what matter, but we'll see. There's some excitement around the program. Maybe some excitement that I haven't seen in a while from a few people. And someone like Phil Steele coming out and giving these comments gives it a little legitimacy.
Sure.
So
I'd much rather hear that than the opposite.
Sure. Absolutely.
Any positivity, yeah, we'll take it.
We'll drink the Kool-Aid.
You bet.
We'll drink it. Let's move on to Husker volleyball. The volleyball team, they got their fall camp underway last week. They have 17 players they brought to camp, but of those 17 players, 8 are new additions, Eric. This is a team that made it to the semifinals last year, eventually falling in 5 sets, I believe, to Penn State, who went on to win the national title. Nebraska was up 2-0. So Penn State pulled off the reverse sweep. But, yeah, eight new players on the roster.
That's pretty wild.
That's a lot.
For such a successful team and just volleyball, tradition.
Exactly. Some good news. Their preseason Big Ten coaches poll, #1 ranked.
Okay, we'll take it. Where's Penn State at?
I did not see that.
Okay.
I'm sure they're right behind close second.
I bet we'll be more motivated than ever when we play them this year.
I'm sure Wisconsin's going to be right in that mix.
Oh, yeah.
The usual suspects, right?
Yep.
But the Big Ten is a strong volleyball conference, just as they are in football. But maybe even more so in volleyball. I'm not sure. One of the additions, though, Eric, is a opposite hitter. This girl came from Italy. 6'5", Virginia Adriana. She has some professional experience, but she was granted a waiver by the NCAA, so they're on board with it.
Okay.
But somebody that I expect to see good things from.
6'5", you said?
6'5".
Wow.
6'5", right? Nebraska had 4 players, though, that were named preseason All-Big Ten. Pretty good accolades, you know.
No doubt.
Rebecca Alec, Andy Jackson, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley. Jackson, Murray, and Riley were all unanimous selections to the All-Big Ten preseason team. I just want to give you a quick rundown of what these girls accomplished and how they have gotten to where they are.
Okay.
In 2024, Andy Jackson was a AVCA All-American first team. She was an All-Big Ten first team. She was 4th nationally in hitting percentage, hitting at a .439 clip, and she averaged almost 1.2 blocks per set. Strong player.
Solid.
Harper Murray. She's done everything. She was a second-team All-American. She was named the NCAA Lincoln Regional Most Valuable Player. She was named to the All-Tourney team at the NCAA Championships, and she joined Jackson on the All-Big Ten first team. Again, another player that we're going to just continue to see great things from. Next up is Bergen Riley. All she has done in her 2 years so far on campus is be named the Big Ten Setter of the Year twice, which has never happened. So
unprecedented.
Yeah. So she did it as a freshman and a sophomore. I don't want to jinx her, but she's done some great things. She was an AVCA All-American second teamer last year, and she averaged 11 assists per set. The girl knows how to play volleyball.
You bet.
Finally, the last one is Rebecca Alec, the 6'4" middle blocker, hit a career best 357 last year, and she added a team best almost 1.5 blocks per set. Unreal. This girl is... She's about to hit her stride this year. She's kind of the unknown out of the 4.
Okay.
And I think she's going to make a splash. The Huskers, 33-3 last year, 19-1 in conference. However, they are under new coach. We all know the story here. Legendary coach John Cook decided to hang it up. Don't blame him. He accomplished almost everything you can accomplish in coaching. They bring in former player Danny Busboom Kelly. She's kind of a local to our area. Our kids competed against her years ago. Will she be able to continue what John Cook did there? Time will tell. Getting the athletes on campus is not going to be a problem.
Exactly.
Her coaching style is probably, we all know it's going to be a little different. How that will translate on the court, we'll see. I do not expect a 33-3 record. I think we will take a step back. I don't think it's going to be a big step.
Yeah, I mean, does it really matter that much?
Probably not.
In the conference they play and the competition's great. So let's say they lose 4 or 5 games and win a national title. Who the heck really cares? If you're getting better throughout the course of the year, that's what you're looking for.
And I expect that.
Right.
I could see us losing 6 or 7 games.
Sure.
But we will be in the hunt, and I think she'll have us in the Final Four. I really do. I think we'll be right in that hunt again.
I agree.
They're too good not to. So we'll see what happens. I'll get into some predictions to the volleyball season here as it gets a little closer. But we're in fall camp mode right now. There's a lot going on, a lot to digest, and we're going to try to keep you as updated as we can.
Exactly. Okay, NFL. We're going to continue talking NFC. We're going to wrap that up today, Brian.
Let's do it.
NFC South. Last year, Tampa Bay won the South with a 10-7 record. Atlanta was 8-9, and Carolina and the Saints were both 5-12. This year, not trying to be predictable, but when I go through the schedule, what did I come up with for Tampa Bay? 10 wins and 7 losses. That's just how it played out. That's not what I was trying to do.
Eric, I have the NFC South listed as the dumpster fire division.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Now, that being said, Tampa Bay does have some pretty good firepower.
They do.
Going through the roster here.
I agree.
Baker Mayfield had a hell of a season last year.
He's kind of found his way there.
Yeah, and he has more help this year. He's got Bucky Irving, who had a big year, rookie last year out of Oregon. Big things expected from him this year.
And on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, they still pack a solid defense there.
They've got the old stalwart Levante David,
Right?
the Warrior.
That guy is.
He's been around forever.
I mean, he's just as reliable as they come.
Yeah, he's headed to the Hall of Fame someday, in my opinion.
There's no way they can keep him out.
Right, but I'm going to continue with the offense here. Backing up Bucky Irving is Rashad White. He was actually born in Kansas City, Brian, and played one season at the University of Nebraska-Kearney in 2017.
Really?
Yep.
That's
There's
interesting.
a quick fact for you.
Wow.
Yep. He'll be backing up Bucky Irving, but he'll get some carries throughout the course of the year, I'm sure. And then their receiving core is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Led by veteran Mike Evans, 6'5", 230. Been around forever. All he does every season is catch a bunch of balls and gain over 1,000 yards. He's won a Super Bowl. Yeah, nothing that he hasn't done, really.
Consistent.
Right.
Yes.
And then Chris Godwin,
Yep.
a great secondary receiver. And you pair those two with Jalen McMillan, second year out of Washington, and a big draft pick out of Ohio State, Amik Abuka, 6'1", 205, to mix in with those other three dudes.
He's going to be in the mix, too.
Yeah, that's why I said Baker
Yep.
Mayfield has more weapons to work with this year than last year.
Yeah, I don't think Baker's going to take a step back at all. If anything, I think you're going to see even better numbers out of him. He's finally found a place where he feels comfortable, and then is building around him, giving him those weapons. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think Tampa Bay is probably the top team in that division right now.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think many would dispute that, honestly. And I don't think their defense, with those weapons, it doesn't have to be great.
No.
If it's at least decent, I think in that division, they get to, I'll say, 10 wins.
I think you're right. Yep.
Second, I've got Atlanta. You know, there's a lot going on there. You've got second-year quarterback Michael Penix Jr., out of Washington, and then the old veteran Kirk Cousins is still there right now anyway. Yep. So they have two options. One, they paid a lot of money to play backup.
Right?
Yeah, but Penix, you know, he was up and down just as you would expect from a rookie last year. But man, you see the upside there.
Yeah,
all kinds of potential.
Most rookies are going to be up and down.
Yep.
Especially at the quarterback position. By the time they get to their sophomore year, they start to figure the game slows down for them.
Right. I just think he has more upside than a lot of them, for sure. You could see, I mean, to say he passed the eye test at times would be an understatement.
Yep. He's very talented for sure.
And then what does he have to help him out? One of the best backs in the game. Bijan Robinson, he's a freaking stud. Over 300 carries last year. He's going to shoulder the load again this year. And Drake London at receiver, a USC product. 6'4", 215, breakout season last year, 100 receptions, 1,270 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
It's not easy to get to that 100 reception mark. So
right, a big target.
When a guy does that, yeah.
Big target. And then Kyle Pitts, keep an eye on him. I'm thinking maybe one of these years he lives up to the potential. Kid out of Florida. Fifth season, I believe, 6'6", 250. Potential's been there. It just hasn't clicked for him yet. But keep an eye on Kyle Pitts at tight end. And then with their, Jalen Walker, linebacker, their first-round pick out of Georgia, should definitely help them on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's not going to hurt a thing, that's for sure. I don't know where you have them at, Eric. I have them at 8 and 9.
That's exactly what I have. Atlanta 8 and 9 and in second place.
Yep.
Just on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs go.
Yep.
Mostly because of the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have weapons, but there's inconsistency and uncertainty at that spot. If Kirk Cousins is still there, does he step in at some point during the year if Penix struggles? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that could be bothersome to the second-year quarterback.
Exactly.
Always looking over his shoulder. Like, if I make one bad play or have one bad game, am I going to lose my spot?
The best thing for them, honestly, might be to trade Cousins. But how the hell are they going to do that with that deal that he signed?
Wants to take that on, yeah.
They may be stuck with him.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to follow for sure.
It will, for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Carolina, I've got in third place, 5-12. It'd be the same record they had last year. They have young quarterback Bryce Young. There's potential there, but the offensive line hasn't helped him out, and they're kind of in a state of flux right now.
They are. It's going to be another year where Panther fans are saying, we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah. Before
the season even begins.
We'll just say a work in progress for sure.
Yep.
And then the Saints, I've got bringing up the rear. 4-13 is what I have them finishing at this season. They were 5-12, like I said last year, so that would be a game worse.
The Aints.
First-year coach Kellen Moore, 37 years old. He was the OC for the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. So he gets a head coaching gig. And I would say in time, he could get that baby turned back in the right direction, but it's going to take some time.
New Orleans loves their football team.
Right.
They've always supported that team very well, so they're not going to be happy if this team stays down for long.
What they don't have right now is they don't have a quarterback.
No, they lost Derek Carr to retirement.
Exactly.
And I think they're probably looking at starting a rookie this year.
Spencer Rattler and Tyler Chow are the two candidates. So, a lot of inexperience. With either guy you go with there.
For sure.
Anyway, that would be our NFC South predictions. And now we're going to move on to the NFC West. Last year, the Rams and Seattle were both 10-7, Arizona 8-9, and the Niners dealt with some injuries, of course. McCaffrey getting hurt. Tough season for the Niners. They finished 6-11, Brian.
I'm going to say right now, Eric, that's not going to happen again this year.
Easiest schedule in the NFL is what I was seeing.
Easiest schedule in the NFL.
On paper, anyway. Yep.
Well, I'm going to go on record right now, and I'm going to predict them to win the NFC West.
Okay.
Yep. I think Brock Purdy continues to mature at the quarterback position. To me, everything depends on Christian McCaffrey for them. If he's healthy, I think getting into that 10-win mark, maybe even 11 wins, is a very good possibility for the 49ers this year.
I believe the over and under on their win total is right at 10.5.
Okay. Yep. I'm thinking they probably ended 11 is where I'm going to go with.
So, you're in there with the majority. Okay. Speaking of Brock Purdy, you brought him up. I'll just go ahead and say he's got rewarded for his good play at quarterback with a 5-year, $265 million contract, 181 of that guaranteed.
And wasn't he Mr. Irrelevant in the draft? Wasn't he the last player chosen?
Mr. Irrelevant out of Iowa State.
Yep. Wow.
He's done all right for himself.
My goodness. You know what? Kudos. Great to for that kid.
I agree.
That's awesome.
Okay, you got the Niners.
I do.
Winning it.
I do.
I'm going to disagree with you. I like the Rams.
Okay. I'm not against the Rams.
Right. I think McVay is one of the more underrated coaches in the NFL.
He's a great coach.
That dude is sharp now.
I like
He's been in 2 Super Bowls. Yep. Won one, lost one. The one he lost was to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And obviously, let's see. Yeah, they beat the Bengals 23-20. The one that they did win. 80-52 overall record. That's not bad.
Pretty solid.
8-5 in postseason play. Like I said, 1-1 in Super Bowls. But on to this season, I've got the Rams finishing 11-6. One thing that does scare me is the fact their quarterback Matt Stafford is just 2 years. he's almost as old as the head coach. He's 37.
Yeah.
McVay's 39. Stafford's 37, entering his 17th season in the NFL.
But if anything, with the way the NFL protects its quarterbacks today, these quarterbacks are playing longer. We saw it with Tom Brady.
Right.
I think Stafford's poised to have another great year. He's got Puka Nacua to throw to this year, and they brought in Devontae Adams.
Yep, that's where I was going. And a lot of sets they run, they have Stafford getting rid of it real quick.
Sure.
Not a lot of deep drops for him. It's all by design.
Yep.
And he's got a nice running game to help him out. Kyron Williams had a huge year at running back last year. I expect him to be solid again this season. Blake Corum out of Michigan, he didn't really develop like they were hoping. So what they did was they went out and got Jarquez Hunter in the 4th round out of Auburn. So they got another rookie to compete with Corum for that backup spot this season. Yes, they've added a little depth at the running back spot. And like you said, to go with Puka Nacua, that dude's a gamer.
Yes, he is.
They went out and get Devontae Adams. Yep. Now they lose Cooper Kupp. He went to Seattle, but they gain a veteran in Devontae Adams entering his 12th season.
I mean, if Adams is happy, if he's happy where he's at, he's going to put in a little more effort.
Right.
And I think if that's the case, he's an upgrade.
Sure. And keep an eye on this name, Jordan Whittington, 2nd-year receiver out of Texas. I could see him maybe grabbing that 3rd receiver spot for the Rams. And then Tyler Higbee at tight end's been a pretty solid producer as well.
Yes, he has.
Aaron Donald's been gone for quite some time, but what they do have on defense, I saw Braden Fisk had 8.5 sacks last year, and Kobe Turner had 8 sacks and 3 in the playoffs. So they got a couple dudes that are trying to be the next Aaron Donald, we'll say. So if they continue to get pressure on quarterbacks, obviously that will help the Rams' cause.
I have him at 10 wins, Eric.
Okay, so we're not
far off there. I have him at 10-7.
Okay.
So, right in the hunt. I have him making the playoffs, but I just have the Niners a game ahead of them.
Okay. What I did is I kind of bucked the trend. Everybody in the world's going to have the Niners in the playoffs. Yep. I've got them just on the outside looking in, Brian. I have them in Seattle both at 9-8. Both at 9-8. So respectable. Yeah, it's not like I'm not predicting that 6-11 of last year. No. I just think maybe they lose a couple games that they're expected to win, which obviously can take you real quick from an 11-win team to just a 9-win team.
For sure. It's fun to disagree sometimes.
Right. And McCaffrey, I mean, he's been pretty beat up over the years. Even if he hangs in there this year, how much will he have left in the tank towards the end of the year? They would probably be smart to pick their spots.
Yes.
Maybe don't give him a huge workload is what I would suggest.
Take a little off his shoulders early in the season.
Right. But they still have weapons. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, just solid tight end, solid receiver there with those two dudes. Nick Bosa, Mikael Williams, 1st-round pick out of Georgia, defensive lineman, will really help him out.
Yep.
And old Fred Warner, solid linebacker for them. So, I think they'll be good. I just don't know that they'll be as good as some expect. That's all. In Seattle, they were 10-7 last year, kind of overachieved, really.
Yes, they did. I've
got them coming back down to earth, 9-8. New quarterback in Sam Darnold. Might take him a while to get accustomed to a new system. They lost receiver DK Metcalf, but gained Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
So they have some new dudes that might take a little time. Mike McDonald in his 2nd season was the Ravens defensive coordinator in 22-3 and had a very successful first year as head coach with 10 wins. Like I said, I think they come back down to 9-8 this year.
We're not far off again.
Right.
I have them at 8-9.
Okay. And keep an eye on Jackson Smith, Nijba out of Ohio State, 3rd-year receiver.
Yeah,
he could have a big breakout season this year.
All the talk's going to probably center around Darnold.
Yep.
He came off of a 14-3 mark at Minnesota last year. Kind of surprised some people.
Sure.
But,
man, he had a lot of weapons.
He had a lot of weapons.
He's got some here. He had more in Minnesota. Yeah. We talked about their receivers.
We did.
25 touchdowns between the three of them.
Unreal.
Yeah.
He was rewarded with a 3-year, $100 million contract.
Right.
I obviously, by picking them at 8 wins, I see him taking a step back due to the fact that he's not going to have the talent around him.
Sure.
But he's still going to have a solid season. Seattle, going to have a solid year, just not maybe where Seahawks fans want to be.
Yep. And I've got Arizona in 4th place in that division, 7-10 this year. They were 8-9 last year, so they'd be winning one less game is what I have them winning. They don't have as many weapons as these other teams.
They don't.
Kyler Murray's done pretty well, playing behind an offensive line that has been great at times. They got a workhorse running back in James Conner. That dude is just the definition of tough. Marvin Harrison Jr., receiver out of Ohio State. McBride tied in. But, in comparison to these other teams, I don't think they quite compare.
No, I have them. I even have them taking a bigger step back. I have them at 6-11.
Okay.
I think they're a year or two away from maybe getting to that 8 or 9 win mark. They have potential there, but the athleticism just doesn't match up to what the rest of the not only league has, but just their own conference.
Sure. All right, let's jump. I'm going to jump into the NFC playoff seeds.
Okay.
Way too early playoff seeds.
What?
My number 1 is Green Bay out of the NFC North.
Well, you're solid. You're all over Green Bay.
The NFC North. I referred to them as the NFC Central last week because I was still in baseball mode. A lot of those teams, Minnesota, Detroit, they're a part of the AL Central.
There you go.
So I'll give myself a pass on that.
I'll let you.
Apologies to that conference.
I'll let you get by.
NFC North. Green Bay, I have as the 1 seed.
Okay.
The Rams, 12-5 for Green Bay, number 1 seed. Rams, 11-6, number 2 seed. I have the Eagles. Remember, I have them winning that division in the tiebreaker. So I have them at 10-7 in the 3rd seed. Tampa Bay, champions of the NFC South, as the 4th seed at 10-7 as well. I have a bunch of 10-7s. That wasn't planned. That's just the way that it ended up. I have Washington as the 5 seed, the Lions as the 6, and Minnesota as the 7 seed. So that would be 3 teams out of the NFC North, and then we have NFC West winner in the Rams, NFC South winner in Tampa Bay, Brian.
I mean, I don't disagree with you on a lot.
And 2 out of the NFC East in Philly and Washington.
I did not get deep. I didn't get into seeding the playoffs yet, Eric. The only place I'm going to disagree with you on, and I don't know who I'm taking out, but I have the Niners getting in.
Okay.
That is the team that I do have.
I think most everybody will.
Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I think they're going to go pretty deep into the playoffs. Just my gut feeling. We'll see what happens. I'm usually wrong, but we'll see.
I mean, I think most people will have them in.
Yeah.
I think I'm going against the grain and then some by,
that's kind of fun,
not having them in.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I mean, one thing, this might sound a little bit different, but Coach Kyle Shanahan has done a great job there. But sometimes I think when a coach has been into place for X amount of years, maybe sometimes the message they try to present maybe gets dull.
Oh.
Does that make any sense to you?
You after hearing the same message year after year,
right,
it falls on deaf ears, right?
And the fact that they made 2 Super Bowls and came so close but didn't win either one.
If they were playing anybody but the Chiefs.
Right. In my mind, I think maybe their opportunities passed them by.
And
I might look like an idiot when the season's over, but that's just kind of my reasoning.
That's a fair point. You get very few opportunities to get to that big show.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there, you better take advantage because, I mean, we've seen players never get there. We've seen players such as Dan Marino get there extremely early in his career and never get back.
Yeah, that's a good example.
So, if you don't take advantage of those opportunities, you may never get another shot.
Sure.
And that's where they could be right now.
The pressure is going to be on him.
Sure.
After a 6-11 season last year, they and he kind of get a pass because of the injuries they dealt with.
Yeah.
But if they don't live up to expectations, especially with the easy schedule they have.
He's gone. Yep.
That's the way it looks to me.
Yeah, this is his shot.
And McCaffrey entering his 9th season, big question mark there if he can hold up like we talked about.
McCaffrey could be seeing the tail end of his career.
Right.
I hate to say that, but it's a position where they take a beating. He especially seems to great person.
Sure.
But sometimes those injuries just find people.
Yep. Anyway, you got our picks. We're not afraid to lay it all out there. We're going to look smart on some and look foolish with others. When we get into the season, we're going to give some predictions every weekend.
Absolutely.
It makes it more fun. Like I said, you guys can laugh at us if you so choose when we look like idiots.
I love being laughed at. I don't
Right.
care. I don't care. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please continue to share this with friends. Get on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Get on Spotify. Hit subscribe. Somebody leave us a comment this week. I want to see a comment this week with your pick to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
And thanks for bringing that up. That's what we're going to want, predictions.
Yes.
Between now and the start of the season.
Yep.
Please.
Yep.
Give us some.
We have some ideas in the works here. Eric's been working overtime on this. So we'll share more next week on that.
Yep.
But
yeah, shoot us the text. Do what you need to do. Like I said, somebody sent me one and said, give a shout out to Bryce Matthews. Those are the kinds of things we're looking for.
Absolutely.
Any suggestions?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back next week.
You bet.